Good morning.
Imagine waking up tomorrow, knowing you'll eat only once today. Like a plot twist in a survival movie, right? But hold on, your body is about to embark on a wild ride of biological processes. After your single meal, digestion kicks in. Your stomach's like, all right, let's do this. But then, as nutrients enter your bloodstream, your digestive system decides to take a coffee break. Stomach activity slows, insulin levels drop, and your pancreas gets a well-deserved nap. It's like your body's version of a siesta. By the 6th hour, your body starts tapping into its energy reserves. The liver breaks down glycogen, releasing a steady stream of glucose to fuel your brain and muscles. It's like your body's personal snack stash, minus the chips and cookies. Around the 12-hour mark, insulin levels drop significantly, signaling your body to access fat stores. The liver begins producing ketones, a clean and efficient fuel source for the brain. Suddenly, you're the Einstein of your office minus the wild hair. At this stage, your cells activate autophagy, a process where damaged proteins and cell components are broken down and recycled. It's like your body's internal recycling program, but without the sorting through old newspapers. Beyond the 24-hour mark, your body continues to rely on fat stores for energy. Growth hormone levels increase, aiding in muscle preservation and tissue repair. Blood pressure stabilizes and inflammation levels decrease. It's like your body's way of saying, chill out, I've got this. Over weeks, your body becomes more efficient at this eating pattern. Hunger becomes more predictable, typically aligning with your usual meal times. Research indicates improvements in insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation, and better metabolic health with time-restricted eating. It's like your body's way of saying,
hey, I got this whole one-meal-a-day thing down.
While many adapt well to eating once a day, it's not suitable for everyone. Individuals with diabetes, pregnant or breastfeeding women, children, and those with a history of eating disorders should consult healthcare professionals before making significant dietary changes. Because, your body's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. In conclusion, eating one meal a day initiates a series of metabolic transitions that can lead to various health benefits. Understanding these changes can help you determine if this routine aligns with your personal health goals. Remember, it's all about balance. But here's something most people never consider. What happens to your body when it's not constantly digesting food? Think about the average day. Breakfast at 7, snack at 10, lunch at noon, another snack at 3, dinner at 6, dessert at 8. That's 6 separate digestion events. Your gut is basically running a 24/7 diner with no closing time and a very grumpy staff. When you eat once a day, something radical happens. Your intestines finally get to put up a sign that says, sorry, we're closed. And during that downtime, your gut does something incredible. When you're not eating, your body activates something called the migrating motor complex, or MMC. Yes, that's a real name, and no, it's not a rejected transformer. The MMC is your gut's cleaning crew. It only turns on when digestion stops, and it sweeps through your intestines, clearing out leftover food particles and bacteria. Think of it like a pressure washer operated by a perfectionist janitor who really hates mess. This process is essential for preventing small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which causes bloating, gas, and the kind of digestive drama that makes you avoid elevators. When you're constantly eating, this cleaning crew never clocks in. Your gut becomes like a college dorm kitchen at 3 in the morning. Pizza boxes everywhere, mysterious smells, and nobody willing to take responsibility. People who switch to one meal a day often notice less bloating and better digestion, and that's not a coincidence. Their gut finally gets the maintenance time it desperately needs. Your digestive system doesn't shut down completely during fasting. It still maintains the intestinal lining, produces mucus, and houses trillions of bacteria doing whatever bacteria do all day. But without the constant flood of food, everything runs more efficiently. Here's something most people don't realize. About 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, which explains why your stomach always knows when you're about to give a presentation. During fasting, your immune system undergoes something called immunometabolic switching. Basically, your immune cells shift from a pro-inflammatory state to an anti-inflammatory one. That's huge, because chronic inflammation is linked to almost every modern disease. Heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and that mysterious knee pain that only shows up when it's about to rain. When you're constantly eating, especially sugar and processed carbs, your immune system stays in attack mode. It's like a security guard who's watched too many action movies and now thinks every delivery driver is a threat. But during fasting, that guard finally relaxes. Maybe does some yoga, catches up on podcasts, and your body can focus on repair instead of treating every Dorito like an invading army. Studies show people who practice time-restricted eating have lower inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6. In real life, that often means fewer aches, better sleep, clearer thinking, and less waking up feeling like a rusty robot. Eating once a day doesn't just affect insulin. It affects almost every hormone in your body, and your hormones have opinions. Let's start with cortisol, the stress hormone. You might assume fasting would send cortisol through the roof, and at first it can. Your body sees the lack of food as mild stress, kind of like when your phone hits 10% battery and you're nowhere near a charger. But after a few weeks, cortisol patterns often normalize or even improve. Your body learns this isn't starvation. It's a predictable routine, annoying at first but eventually expected, like that neighbor who mows the lawn every Saturday morning. Then there's leptin, the hormone that tells your brain you're full. When you eat all day, especially if you overeat, your brain can become resistant to leptin. It's like a smoke alarm that's gone off so long you just ignore it, until there's an actual fire. Eating once a day often improves leptin sensitivity. Your brain starts hearing fullness signals again, which naturally helps regulate appetite without willpower or calorie counting. For women, though, there's an important caveat. Reproductive hormones are extremely sensitive to energy availability, which is a polite way of saying your uterus does not trust your life choices. Some women who jump into one meal a day too aggressively experience cycle disruptions. The body interprets severe calorie restriction as a threat to reproduction and temporarily shuts things down. This doesn't mean women can't do OMAD. It means the transition should be gradual and the meal needs to be substantial. You can't survive on a sad salad and expect your hormones to celebrate. Most people assume they'll be exhausted eating once a day, dragging through life like extras in a zombie movie. The first week or two, honestly, yeah, it can be rough. You might feel tired, irritable, foggy, and deeply offended by minor inconveniences. Your body is still expecting food on a schedule, and when it doesn't get it, you feel the withdrawal. But once you adapt, something shifts. Instead of energy spikes and crashes, many people report steady, sustained energy. No breakfast crash, no post-lunch coma, no desperate mid-afternoon snack hunt. With one meal a day, your body relies more on fat and ketones, which provide a slow, consistent fuel source. People often describe improved mental clarity. You're not thinking about your next meal. You're not weighed down by digestion. Your brain is running on premium fuel, and it kind of feels like a superpower, minus the cape. Some people thrive eating earlier, others prefer evenings. Research suggests earlier eating may align better with circadian rhythms and insulin sensitivity. But there's no universal rule. What is consistent is sleep. Digestion is energy-intensive. Eating a large meal late at night is like trying to sleep while construction workers jackhammer outside. Except the construction is happening inside your stomach. Many people who eat once a day, especially earlier, report deeper, more restorative sleep. Their body isn't dividing energy between digestion and repair. As for longevity, the evidence is promising but not definitive. Animal studies show fasting and caloric restriction can extend lifespan by 20 to 30%. In humans, we don't have decades-long proof, but we do see improvements in health span, better metabolic health, lower disease risk, and better cognitive function as people age. Even if it doesn't add years to your life, it likely adds life to your years. Food is how we connect. Birthdays, holidays, dates, business lunches. Eating once a day can feel isolating if you're not flexible. Suddenly, you're that person who doesn't eat, and everyone thinks you joined a cult. This is where flexibility matters. One meal a day doesn't have to be rigid. If there's a special dinner, move your window. Your metabolism won't shatter. It's not a souffle. There's also the psychological side. Food is emotional. Restricting eating can be liberating for some and triggering for others. If you have a history of disordered eating, OMAD may not be appropriate, and that's not a failure. Different tools work for different people. So, should you try it? The honest answer is annoying but true. It depends. If you're pregnant, breastfeeding, diabetic, a growing teenager, a high-level athlete, or have a history of eating disorders, this approach isn't for you without medical guidance. But if you're a generally healthy adult looking to improve metabolic health, simplify eating, and reduce inflammation, one meal a day may be worth experimenting with slowly. Consistency matters more than perfection. This isn't about dietary martyrdom. It's about finding a pattern that supports your health and your life. Because the goal isn't to eat less food. It's to live better while you're here.